What do we have here? That's a big old box right there. Oh, yeah, that's got some weight to it. Well, boys and girls, this here is my mini split AC system for the garage. Finally, after years, I have an AC system that's gonna go in. What's up, baby? You wanna check out the AC system? Do you wanna help me unbox it? Eileen's very excited for AC, huh? So the unit I decided to go with is from a company called Senville, and they actually had great reviews. Tons of people were reviewing them, all pretty close to 5 stars. It was like 4.6 or something like that. Anyway, this company, this unit has pretty much one of the best warranties that you can get. Kind of one of the reasons I chose it. A lot of these mini splits are DIY installations. They say this one is not. It has to be professionally installed, but I'll do all the hard work and then I'll just give the easy stuff to one of the AC guys. And they're able to sign off on it, that everything is connected and set up right and done right. So this box is your inside unit, the one that's actually going to hang up on the wall. And this one comes with a remote. It's set up for like Alexa or something like that to control all this stuff if you want. I don't know if I'm gonna get that fancy, but I know people who are that fancy. You know who you are. This is your outside unit. This is gonna connect to an AC disconnect box, and I'll wire from the panel all the way across, because the panel's on the other side of the house, to this outside wall, and then I'll tie it into an AC disconnect, and that's what this outside unit is going to connect to. It's a 20 amp circuit, so I've got to get another breaker for that. I'm not really looking forward to climbing through the attic, especially since it is almost 100 degrees lately. I'm definitely going to be sweating, but you know, I might drop a few pounds up there running that wire. So I ordered this, I think it was on Monday, and today's Wednesday. So that was super fast. I did not expect it that fast at all. Thank you, Senville, for sending this so quickly. Already off to a good start. Here it is, everything is unboxed. So in your box of accessories, you get your lines. I should have 16 feet, I believe is the kit that I ordered. You can go longer if you want. I don't need that because, you know, my wall is only about 8-9 feet. And what else? You've got these little doodads in here. This looks like some wrap that will go around the lines. Sealing clay, fancy little plastic doodad. I've got my remote, little holder. Not really sure yet what these are for because I'm not gonna mount the bracket that holds the inside piece with any of these. Then you've got your whip, and these look like some drain lines. Instructions. Here's the piece that is going to mount inside my garage. It's actually flipped over because I had to take off this mounting bracket. So this is going to be going up first. This whole inside, the main inside unit here that's going to be blowing the cold air on me is 31 3/4 inches long. It is 7.5 inches deep, and it is 11 3/4 inches tall. So basically 32 inches and a foot. I don't really use these as much, so those can go somewhere else. But in this general area is where I want that piece. I don't want to put it too close to the garage door. Obviously I can't really go back over here. It's not going to make any sense. So somewhere right in here is going to work perfect. Step 1, research what unit. Done. Here it is. Step 2, make sure I figure out the right placement for this unit so that I can put my wiring and all that other good stuff and I don't have to move stuff later. And then step 3 is just hooking all this stuff up. I mean, honestly, this should not be a difficult kit to install. All these little mini split kits, they look pretty simple nowadays. I think I'm right at 450 square feet. I got the 12,000 BTU unit, which will do, I think it's in the neighborhood of 500 square feet, something like that. This one is actually a 20.8 SEER. So on my little geeked out spreadsheet, I listed all the units I was looking at, and then I kind of broke it down by price, square footage, warranty, and SEER. This one scored really well in multiple categories, and that's why I went with this unit. So far, the worst part of this project has nothing to do with the actual unit or any of that stuff. It's running wires through my attic when it's about 120 degrees up there. And I got my wire run from the panel all the way over, down the wall, to my cutoff switch. Basically, this is called an AC disconnect, and what it is you got your main, well, you have stuff popping out at you. So you pull this out and it cuts power. So you can see these little tongs go and they make contact, and basically it just jumps the circuit over. So you can see it's on right now, and then when you take it out, you can actually flip it over. They go up like that, and now it's off and it's safe to service. You've basically just cut the power to everything just by pulling this little thing out and flipping it. This is where my inside unit has landed. Most of the time I'm working kind of, you know, in this area up front, so it's actually going to be blowing straight at me, and it's not too close to the door over there. So they show you how to lift this part up, but how am I supposed to open this thing without breaking this off? What the crap, man? So if I had anything to complain about so far with this unit, this is going to be it right here. Whatever's going on right here that's not allowing me to just remove this panel that they told me to remove so I could wire, you got to fix this. Whatever this design is, it's crap. It's not, yeah, that's a crap design. In the instructions, they tell you to flip this thing up so that you can feed the signal wire from the back through to the front where it's going to plug in over here. So this plate is on here. I had to put this piece in because if you don't, you basically have a cutout like this that's, you know, it's not super sharp, but it could, you know, rub up against that wire. I had one of these little handy doodads here that clamps down on the wire, put a little nut on the back, and that's what I'm going to use to hold that signal wire in place. These wires that come in, the way you have to feed them in, they don't make it simple. They don't give you like a direct passage through. The way I did it was I ended up taking off this little plate right here with 2 screws and just moving it all the way down the wire, and then it gave me a little bit more room to kind of move this over. It's kind of a funky angle. You have to go in, you have to avoid these little tiny wires at the top, and then shoot over to the left and then down. Once I took this plate off, it gave me a little bit more room, made it a little bit easier, but this was kind of a booger to do. When you get it in the front here, this is how they tell you to wire it up. They do give you a little diagram here. So red is number 1, black is number 2, white is number 3, and then your ground goes over here to the ground. And then you can put your little holder back on, and then come back, put this piece back on, and then clamp down on your wire, and you should be good. Now this is gonna end up, I think, kind of doing one of these numbers right here to run out. This is where my hole is gonna be. I just put these here for reference. When you drill your hole for your lines, they want you to go at an angle, obviously, because they want the water to run out. You don't want it laying in the pipe if it's straight out like this. So that's what I did. But there's my brick. I don't have a brick hole saw. So I'm gonna have to go buy one. I've got my pipes pretty much wrapped up to here. They're gonna stick out somewhere in this area here. Then I'll connect the other ones and finish wrapping. This is the drain. So it's on top now because this unit is actually flipped, and it'll be like this. So the drain will be on the bottom. And I kind of just put some electrical tape on here for now to kind of hold everything in place. I've got to fish all the wire through, fish this through, and then my other hoses and connections are in this box here. Very soon I will have a garage that is not right at 100. Yeah, so that will be nice. All right, look at this. Every time I take on one of these projects, I always end up with a new tool out of it. This is my hole saw kit that I just picked up. Since I don't do this very often, I went with this one from Harbor Freight. It was $30, $29.99 for a 9-piece set. I don't exactly have a 2.5-inch hole saw. I think I've got a 2 5/8, and then the next one down is going to be 2 1/8. So it's probably going to have to be this one, which will get me where I need to be. I only need to drill one hole, so it only has to work one time. Well, it didn't go 100% as planned, but the job is done. What I thought was going to happen ended up happening, and that is the brick, as I was cutting into it with that hole saw, ended up basically breaking in half, and then the mortar around it kind of cracked, so the whole brick itself was loose. I kind of contemplated just chiseling out that brick section without even trying to cut it with a hole saw, but I'm glad I did cut it with a hole saw because it did give it a little bit of a rounded edge on the top and the bottom where it broke in half, which is fine because it now sits on my little tube that's coming through. Obviously the caulking and stuff is not ideal, but that's okay. I paint it, you never even know it's there, man. Here it is from the inside. So we're good to go. I've got an AC guy gonna come over and he's going to evacuate the system. And once that's done, we're ready to release the Kraken. Pretty much like 98% done. So I went ahead and used their little goopy stuff, clay that they give you, and just fill in around there. It's kind of nice. It's not gonna like dry and set up like caulking would, so if you ever need to pull it out and replace it or do whatever, you can. My pipes are just connected finger tight right now. I'm gonna go to the hardware store and get some goopy stuff maybe to put right in there. It recommends it to help seal it. And then I'm also going to get a cover to cover this thing coming all the way down the wall, because I really don't want this just chilling like that. When you pull the cap off the end of this line right here that comes from the inside unit, something was coming out, and at first I didn't realize what it was, but it's just nitrogen. They put that in there just to keep the lines clear. If you're installing one of these and you pull it off and you hear something just straight at you, don't worry about it. It's not Freon, it's just a little bit of nitrogen. It'll be gone in 2 seconds.
Moisture boils in a vacuum at -40 degrees. So any kind of moisture in the lines, it gets it. Moisture and this new Freon do not mix.
Yeah, this is the 410. Okay.
See the blue side, that arrow is way past the 0.
Okay.
This,
yeah,
that means it's pulling the vacuum.
I have AC. As luck would have it, the day I finish my AC install and have my AC guy come out and get me all squared away, it cools down. It rained pretty good here for a while, and it's just cloudy and beautiful out here. I don't even need AC anymore. I bought some vinyl gutter material and I sliced it down the back. Sliced it down the back of that little doodad and just wrapped it around the wires and kind of cleaned it all up. Got some little hooks, and then I used a couple zip ties. Yeah, it's more so just covering the pipes and protecting them. I can come back later, since it's vinyl, and paint it brown or, you know, whatever, something to blend in. But this is it. This is the outside unit. Pretty cool. I'm gonna leave my cone here for a while so I don't back my trailer in and take out my AC. I did not realize that on my disconnect, since this is for a 60 amp, like 240, and I'm running 110, I had two wires that were actually crossed. It kept tripping my breaker every time I went to turn it on. If you're running this style, don't wire it like this. You need to wire it like this. So thank you to my buddy Danny, electrical guru. He was able to diagnose my problem all the way from California. I'm going to be enjoying this, I'm sure, in the next few weeks. Oh, yeah, that feels good. That is a mini split install in my tiny little 2-car garage. If a monkey like me can do it and figure it out, so can you. Thanks so much for watching. Stay hungry, stay foolish. So all in with the AC unit delivered to my house, all of the wiring, concrete screws, drill bits, all the crap that I had to buy, that total came out to $1,217.08. Not bad. Brick hole saw, turned out I didn't really need it. I wish I didn't have to spend $100 on wire to go that super long distance. Overall, 1,200 bucks for this AC unit with the best warranty out there. And the best SEER rating. Not bad, because there are other units out there that are going to be $1,000 to $1,400 just for the unit itself. Then you got to add in all those other expenses. I'm happy with that, and I'm happy with that.